Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Robin from Southern Latitudes, and I just wanted to preserve this recipe. I'm sure it's already online. I don't think I've done anything much to take away or add to the original recipe, but it's going to be Wickles Relish and Wickles Pickles. So if you've ever gone to the grocery store and you like your pickles with a little bit of heat, you may see that in the whatever your local grocery store is. But I have found a good knockoff recipe, and this will be my fourth year maybe making it, third for sure. And seems like we've been making this for many years. Regardless of how I'm divvying up, I'm still going to make a massive batch of brine, and I may have to make another one because I don't think I had 20 pounds of pickles last time when I did this. So I am putting in the onions. Yes, I'm putting in the onions into my brine. 6 cups of apple cider vinegar. All right. 6 cups of sugar. 3 tablespoons of mustard. Ooh, I don't want to push my luck with that. Just stick it in there. The flavor will infuse. 3 teaspoons of celery seed. We're going to skip on the cloves. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of turmeric to color everything up pretty. Give it a good flavor. I'm going to need a little bit of salt, but I don't know. I'll have to flavor it to taste. Because a lot of the salt they recommend for the recipe is for shrinking. When you want to shrink your cucumbers down. But I want it all to get warm and infused together. I'm going to be canning today in pints. We want this to come to a boil for a good 5 minutes before we start loading it into the jars. So I'm just giving a little stir, then I'll go back to packing my jars, getting them prepped. You no longer need to sterilize your jars or your lids if they are clean. That is fine. And these are brand new. Normally, I would have liked to just do a complete hot pack, but instead I'm doing a room temperature pack. These cucumbers have not been in a refrigerator at all. Okay, we're at boil. Okay, so 8 pounds filled up 16 pints. And now I will show you the secret ingredient to Wickles. All good Wickles have heat. And so, not too much, but a little bit. So I'm going to end up putting, I have cayenne peppers here from the garden. And I'm going to put a little cayenne in each one. Now last year, the guys were telling me I didn't put in enough heat. They really couldn't taste it And those were chili peppers. So we're gonna bump it up just a little bit with the cayenne. Hot, 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 hot. Put them, let's start going with the broth. We're gonna leave ourselves a 1/2 inch head space. All those onions don't want to go down. Uh-oh. I did things out of order, I guess. Not forget to get the air bubbles out of your whatever you can. I have misplaced my little plastic one. Oh yeah. This will also displace some of your liquid too, because the air bubbles come up and make room for the liquid in there. So then you might have to readjust your headspace. Okay, I have adjusted the headspace the best I can. I made a little bit of mess. I have to say this is not my prettiest batch. So I can only do so many jars at a time. So the first batch is in and they are covered by water. This is a water bath canning method. And as you can see, they're starting to come to a boil. So I will now, I like to get it just a teeny tiny bit more of a hard boil. But at this point, we now can set the timer for 10 minutes. You know, normally I would just make a batch of brine or 2 double batch, but I really have no idea after 8 pounds of cucumbers how many cups do I have. So we're just going to go through this really quickly. 1. All right, so that was 16.5 cups, which is quite a bit, especially for this pan. And then here's my 2 onions. Okay, we had to up pot, and usually I use that term for gardening, but I think it needs to be here for canning as well. So I sent my son, I ran out of apple cider vinegar, so I sent my son to the grocery store for apple cider vinegar, and he bought me Bragg, you know, with the mother, organic, everything, you name it. And I was like, wow, son, thanks. $20 for a jug. Meanwhile, the white vinegar is only like $3. So I think I'm going to be cutting some of this. We'll see. I don't know. Let's see. That's 4. We'll do 6 of this and 6 of the distilled white. This might be kind of strong if I just use the Bragg. Just know the recipe says to use apple cider vinegar, but you do not need the organic, raw, unfiltered, with mother, unpasteurized version of it, because I believe, somebody will correct me in the comments, I hope, but I believe that if you use all this raw, it doesn't matter when you're canning, and you're gonna probably go ahead and kill off all the mother anyhow that's in it. So there really wasn't a point to buying it that way, but he said to me, Mom, you told me to get the biggest. So I did. I sure did. Okay, so we're going to round it out with some distilled white for a fraction of the cost. Okay, so yes, I'm doubling my double, which means I'm quadrupling this recipe. All right, let's hope we have enough sugar too, because that means I'm going to need 12 cups of sugar. mustard seed. And so, there we go. Let it go. That was supposed to be 6 tablespoons of mustard seed, but I officially ran out. So we got what we got. Celery seed. 2 tablespoons. That's what we're supposed to have. Oh, that empties that out too. Okay. Wow. That's what I get for quadrupling the recipe. Alright, this will be 2 tablespoons of homegrown turmeric. 1, 2. Alright, so it does call in the original recipe just like a clove or 2, and then you would double that, and in this case it would be quadruple that. But I am not only out of cloves, but my husband detests the taste of cloves. So I usually do not put cloves in anything with bread and butter pickles or relish or anything like that. So we're just going to bring this up to a boil. And while that is happening, I am going to prepare my next set of jars. Ooh, yes, turn it down. Not supposed to cook very long, it's just supposed to come to a boil. I have to let that cool down. I caught a fish. A 1/2 inch head space. Here, let me show you. Cayenne pepper. And I did not put too much in there because it really did burn my mouth compared to last year's chili pepper. I haven't checked out the Scovilles, but I would think a cayenne might be a little hotter than a chili. Alright, you guys, so I had extra brine, and I'm actually going to jar and make it shelf stable. And you would do it with broth, so I think I'm, if it works for these jars, I'm going to shelf stable that until I do the next set of pickles. And that way I'm not wasting that $20 bottle of Bragg apple cider vinegar. The other thing you see me doing is to make sure I get all of the air bubbles out. Now, I don't think there's like any air bubbles like there would be with, oh, look how loose that one is. That one got a lot of broth. Ooh, I saw one air bubble come up. Y'all didn't see that. Just trying to get it there. And then, like I said, 1/2 inch head space. And then now I'm going to clean these rims with vinegar and a little washcloth, or you can use paper towel. Normally I would water bath can this like I did the others for 10 minutes, but since I had 2 stacks and I'm in a hurry to get this last section done, I've gone ahead and pulled out my pressure canner, and we'll just finish it that way because it can get a whole lot more jars done at once. All right. Hey, so let's end the video now. Thank you for staying with me through the canning of all these cucumber products. So we have everything from Wickles Relish to Wickles Brine to Wickles Chips to Wickles Spears. It was a lot of fun doing this. It was very exhausting. As you can see, there's a lot that was canned yesterday. But this is going to be a year, if not more, worth of food, of this type of food that we need in our house. And I do this every year. I think I have just a couple jars left of the relish. And we were really getting nervous that I wasn't going to be able to make a year's worth. We had checked out prices of cases, and they had exploded in price compared to years past. And I was growing cucumbers, but not fast enough, and I didn't have any pickling varieties come up in the garden. So anyhow, this was a huge blessing to receive 20 pounds worth of pickling cucumbers. And I even have like a couple pounds reserved back for dill. You don't even see the dill pickles in here yet because I'm going to do them tomorrow morning. But anyhow, I want to thank you guys all for joining with me. There was a couple mistakes made here and there. I acknowledge that and recognize that. You know, when you only do something once a year, sometimes you forget how you do it and you forget to write it down in your notes. So that was really the purpose of this video, was not so much for you guys, but for me to remember how to do things. I'm a visual learner, and I really appreciate getting to go back and see how I did things. And it has saved me before with a vegetable beef soup once before. I totally forgot a key ingredient and then saw it in the video, and it made a lot more sense, and we were able to rework it before we put it into jars. So you guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget, canning is a marathon and not a sprint. Take your time, do it slowly over the weeks and the months and everything, and then you'll be able to have a really nice pantry in time. So you guys take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.